between going for it and then going for the field goal at that point?
Not much at all. I mean, we knew we had 2 downs there on the third and manageable. I forget what it was. I think it was 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 3. So we were expecting to have 2 downs to get there, and when it got close, there was no indecision.
With everything you guys have going on, and then what happened yesterday, what did you find out about your team today? What did they show you in this win?
Well, what our team went through here in these last really 2 weeks, our week off with how COVID hit us in our week off, and then yesterday, just the stuff that they found out in a very awkward spot for us, and just I can't be more proud of our team. I mean, what they've gone through all year, but especially these last 2 weeks, and especially these last 24 hours. I did have a lot of concern because of some of the stuff all of us and our families have been dealing with, and I can't tell you how proud I am of those guys, how they went out there and fought, and not all of it was perfect, but their heart and energy and everything was, and I couldn't ask for any more from those guys.
Kyle, how impressed were you by the defensive effort to kind of set the tone of this game early on, and then getting you guys a chance to get the ball back for that last drive?
So impressed. I mean, they were amazing all game. They were amazing last time we played them. The game, it was the exact type of game that we were hoping for. Just early in the week from a game plan standpoint, and knowing we had to run the ball and do all those things, and we wanted to make it kind of a grimy type game. When we had those 3 turnovers on offense, though, it's very tough to win that type of game, and that's what made it so close. But when the defense ends up getting 4 turnovers, then it gives you a chance to spite that. So I can't say enough about those guys and the staff.
Hey, Kyle, you just mentioned the defensive staff. You said last, I guess in January or whatever, you were so stoked that Solid didn't get the Browns job. Are you concerned performances like this will mean this is his last season as your defense coordinator?
Well, I'm always concerned. I never want to lose Saul. I never lose any of our coaches, to tell you the truth. I thought he deserved one last year, so whether this game happened or not, the guy's, it's a matter of time before he becomes one. So I keep telling him, don't be mad at me, because I know he's going to be one eventually. So I hope he stays here as long as possible. He needs to be in no rush. So hopefully people don't figure it out, and he stays here for a little bit.
Sorry about that. Go ahead. All right, we'll come back to Tim. So, Tessa, please go to the next person.
Kyle, it seems that Nick Mullens has had a few floaters. Is there anything mechanical that's going on with him? He's kind of overthrown a couple of guys more than just like it seems like a one-off.
Today he overthrew Jordan Reed on a double move, but the corner was bailing in 3 deep, and he didn't have enough time to really see it. We were trying to take a shot, and I think right when he threw it, he got hit. But yeah, that was overthrown. If he could see it, I'd love to progress and check it down or put it on Jordan more. But he let it rip a couple times today. He let one go down the middle for a big throw. I thought he hit Juice on the sidelines for a big throw there on the second to last drive. I was real impressed with Nick today. It's not an easy position at all going against that defense. If you watch how they played versus a lot of people, and it was very tough today. The whole defense, the scheme, and especially 99. Nick's tough, keeps battling, and kept coming back. That pick that he had was just unfortunate on the tip, but he never went into a shell and just held on to the ball. He kept letting it rip and made enough plays for us to win the game.
David Lombardi?
Hey, Kyle, I think Sherman led the team in tackles, obviously had that interception. How important was it to have him back just from the communication standpoint, and also because you guys lost Jamar there in the game?
It's huge. Anytime you lose a guy, it's a chain reaction. And, losing K1 a few weeks ago, being able to get Jamar back, and then losing Jamar there, who's the next man up? And it happened to be Mosley. So with Sherman being out, being there, it allowed us to have a perfect guy to come in at the nickel position, so we didn't have to change our outside corners. If Sherman wasn't back, it would have been a lot more, and we're running out of that. So it was huge for us today.
Trying Tim again?
Hopefully you hear me this time?
Yeah, I
We got
gotcha,
you.
Tim.
What's going to happen the next team? Much on it. Instead, you're going to go.
I think what Tim's trying to say is what's going to happen with the team over the next couple days.
Is that what you asked?
That is it.
All right. I'm not sure. I don't. We're working our tail off to try to figure it out. I know other people are. I've been doing this for the last 24 hours, but you know, it's. You guys want to know the answer. So do our wives. So does everyone who knows us. It was a very disappointing thing what we got yesterday. You know, I just our organization has been working their tails off since training camp with the county and trying to do this above and beyond all the NFL protocols, all the protocols they've asked for, whether it's masks, whether it's tracking, getting tested every single day. I don't think you can do possibly more than anyone in this country is, besides all the NFL teams, not just us. And we've been working with them as a partner, just trying to figure it out. And for us to be heading out here yesterday and the relationship we have with them, and for all of our players and coaches and everyone on that plane and our wives to find that out while we're getting on a plane and no one to tell us, I mean, it was just extremely disappointing. I got a lot of guys here who we can handle anything, and we understand how big of a deal this virus is, and that's why we're so committed, and we feel that's why we feel like we've done it as good as we can, and not only protected ourselves but also really protected our community. And that's why we think we would love to stay in our hometown where our fans want us, and playing in Levi's with no people there and only people that have been tested every single day for the last 5 months. And I get it, they made that decision and we got to deal with it. But for them to find that out through a tweet or a press conference where I have an entire plane coming up to me, I have all wives, everyone's girlfriends, everyone's family members, kids saying that what they heard there, are we going to be gone for the entire month of December? Are we going to be quarantined for 14 days when we get back? I mean, that's all we could talk about for the last 18 hours because we got no answers from them. And I was just very disappointed and very proud of our guys that I couldn't give them the answers and they could put it to the side and come out and play like that. I got so much appreciation for our team and those players, and I'm very proud to be those guys' coach.
Chris,
the emotional swings you went through in the second half from Javon Kinlaw's touchdown to seeing the Rams put up 17 points in just over 3 minutes, and then to come back and win the game.
Oh, it was very tough. That's what made it that much more special. I mean, felt so good about the first half and how we were playing and the type of game it was. And then to come out right away on that first drive and Kinlaw to make that huge play. We just saw him for the first time on Friday in 2 weeks because he's been sick, and for him to come battle and get back and be able to play and help us in that game. When we made that touchdown, we had a chance to run away with it, I thought, and then Aaron made that unbelievable play on the backside of a run and got the fumble that he returned for a touchdown. And I want to say that we went 3 and out after that and lost completely the momentum. They got a huge run. We felt it. I'm sure you guys all could see it on TV. And then just to come back out, get a couple drives in, or get those field goals, and for our defense to keep stopping them and not just after they gave up and they've been a little bit, they didn't break. And I'm just, again, real proud of those guys.
And Kyle, I want to ask you about your defense and why it seems to match up well with the Rams personnel. But before you answer that, I also want to ask you about where you guys go from here. Do you start to insert yourself now into those conversations, checking off what's okay with you as far as where you guys might have to go now to practice and play?
Well, yeah, I do. And they'll always ask me, just like they did a little bit last night. But just what are our choices? I know our guys. All we've done for this entire season is wake up in the morning, go get tested, wear a mask, trackers throughout the whole day, finish, go straight home, don't travel, don't go outside in public. Everyone's been so committed to this so I mean, the biggest thing for me is us all leaving our families. I mean, we're all humans just like everyone else, and it's a big deal to leave your family for the whole month of December. A huge deal, as everyone knows. This virus is a huge deal, and that's why, anyways. But what I can control, I mean, I want a place that's safe for us, our guys. You know, we're gonna have to leave here and go somewhere else. I know where we're at. Feel very confident not picking it up and being only around people who are tested every day. So now we got to find another place, and so that's where it starts. I mean, we need a place that we can feel safe and stay, because we're not gonna be able to go to our homes anymore that are safe. So we're gonna have to stay in a hotel or somewhere. So that's where it would start. Second thing is we need a practice field to play on, and then obviously we need a stadium to play in. So I'm not going to be that picky, but I need some obvious things that I think we need some obvious things that are extremely obvious. So, did you have another question?
Yeah, and the second part of that, or not the second part of that, but it's just a completely different topic. What is it about your defense and your defensive front, just the way it played today, but why is it seems like you guys match up so well with the Rams offense?
I mean, I don't want to say anything in particular, but I mean, our guys, first of all, they played so hard today, which was a huge deal. We've gone against them a number of times. I mean, their continuity's been pretty good with their receivers and their quarterback and stuff, and some of their linemen, and then they're good against us too. I mean, it's two teams that know each other very well. It's two defenses that are very sound, that make you work for everything. They got a couple big plays on us today. They got a run that got through the middle, I think. They got a couple big passes, one on a keeper that a couple guys came up and they hit a huge corner. I think we got a turnover after that to stop it. And it was the same thing with us. I mean, they don't mess up much. They're sound, and they got a bunch of good players. So there's a lot of little plays, and who can make the biggest plays. And we won the turnover battle today, and we were able to come up with a couple big plays that got us down there. But both our defenses are a challenge. Whenever your schemes are very sound and you got some players out there, it's always a battle.
Hey Kyle, do you have an idea of when you might know what's going to happen? I mean, you have a game on Monday night, so I assume you need to know within, would you say, 24 hours? And also, with everything that's gone on this weekend, and with the Thanksgiving game between the Ravens and the Steelers now being moved to Tuesday as something that you were not allowed to do when you had your facility shut down, and teams playing without a quarterback, just how do you feel like it's going? Do you feel like it's equitable? It kind of feels like you guys have drawn the short straw on a couple of these things.
I mean, I understand your question, but I want to say that. I mean, I don't know Baltimore and Pittsburgh situation. Obviously, that Green Bay game was a very hard deal for us. We didn't lose that many guys. I mean, we only had one guy with COVID, and then we lost two guys because of trackers, which was a huge deal because they were three really good players. I think what made us so desperate at that time is how down we were to begin with. I mean, we weren't, we already barely could field a team. So then just to lose those three more, I think that's what was so tough about it. But that's why I don't sit here and get upset about it or go back on that at all. That was just a circumstance, and it seemed like there was a lot more on that this week. And I think your first question was when. All right, yeah, I don't know. That's the answers. Trust me, all our players and myself and all the coaches were getting blown up from our families who we're going to go see tonight when we get back. That's all they want to know. One good thing I think is it's a Monday night game. If it was a Sunday game, we need to start practicing by Wednesday, and we need to get 3 days in. So with it being a Monday night game, we at least need to start practicing by Thursday and get 3 days in. So I think that gives us some time. Again, I wish we could practice here and then fly to another place and play wherever on Monday. But I don't think that's happening. So now we'll start working on that.
We'll do a couple more, folks.
A boost it was to have Deebo Samuel, not just on offense, but also in the locker room for team morale as well.
Oh, I can't tell you how good Deebo was today. I mean, it's just, I always mess with him because I'm a very soft compliment type of guy. You've never arrived. You always get better. So Deebo's got a lot to work on. But he's one of the best football players I've been around. I mean, it doesn't matter how good it is or how good it looks. He's going to get it done. Some of those plays that he made in the first half, I mean, the big run that he had on the same run that he had last time. Just the physicality he plays with, being able to go to him. And that's all we were trying to do there in the last drive, just especially to get into field goal range, just throw a quick one to Deebo. And he came through every single time. And the way he blocked, the way he ran. The other time he got down there, got a field goal, I think, in the third quarter. He started off with a 6-yard throw where Deebo ran through some people. So I love that guy, but he's got to still keep getting a lot better at everything else.
Yeah, I think it was this week you kind of mentioned some guys in particular, Jimmy Ward, Trent Williams, guys that are really crucial and have been playing well, but you felt like they could take it to the next level. Did you see that today? Do you feel like they're making those steps?
Well, yeah, that was my big thing, and I think it had to do with people asking about guys coming back, and I was just, yeah, guys coming back will help, but we got to still take our level up with the guys that played, and that was tough with Trent. You know, he hadn't been able to practice in 2 weeks, so just when you talk about Trent Williams, you know, we saw him first on Saturday, and for him, just from a cardiovascular standpoint, battling through what he's been through the last 2 weeks, I was just pumped to have him out there, and I know he played well, but regardless, just to have him out there. And we talk about Jimmy Ward, I mean, I think Jimmy did answer that bell. I mean, I'll see on the plane tonight when I watch the tape and everything, but I believe they had 3 fumbles? They had 2 fumbles, and Jimmy forced both of them from what I saw. So it looked like Jimmy had a big-time game.
Last one.
It felt like Kyle Juszczyk was in on many a big play. Can you just talk about the trust you have in him and what he really means to this offense?
Oh, I mean, just all the fact that we can stay in 21 so much. I mean, it's hard to get 33 runs in a game versus some of those fronts. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have nickel defense out there, nickel off. Like, they'll have 5 bigs on the line of scrimmage a ton. And if you don't have a fullback in there, there's a lot of runs you can't run. And by having him in there, it allows us to get those calls, allows us to do things. And I thought that was a huge part of the win today, just being able to get 33 runs in. I mean, just that showed how well our defense played. It showed, you know, with us not doing well on third down, it showed how well our defense played, because you don't get those runs in if you don't do well on third down, unless the other side keeps getting it back. And when we always go to him in a pass play, I thought for a second he dropped it. It looked like he got a little too excited, thought he was going to score. But he made that catch, was a huge explosive that got us down there to start. And then the 4th and 1 at the end. I mean, he doesn't get a lot of carries, but when he does, he usually comes through for us.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
Hey everyone, we got Raheem here for you.
How y'all doing?
How are you doing health-wise? How did you feel being out there today?
It felt great, you know, especially after a win. It feels even more better. You know, just gotta take care of the little things, and with this ankle, it's a little bit tricky, but you know, I'm gonna do what I have to do, make sure I'm prepared for next week, and get my body right, get my mind right, and you know, go out there and give it all I got, like I did today.
Hey, Raheem, with everything that took place, especially over the last 24 hours, what kind of statement do you think the team made today? And can you kind of take us through what the last 24 hours was like for you guys?
Yeah, for sure. You know, through the last 24 hours, it's been up and down for the team. You know, we're not necessarily sure the uncertainty of how the rest of the season is going to play out, or you know what we're expecting as far as when we get back in. One thing I would like to say though, you know, no matter what we go through, we're a team, and we truly believe that you know we're going to take care of each other. We're going to look after each other. I mean, if you think about my situation, you know, I left my family back at home to be a part of something like this, and I don't take anything for granted. You know, I try to do my best to make sure that me, the people around me, my teammates, everybody, the whole organization is looking, you know, after each other, and that's one thing that I pride myself on. So for me personally, you know, it's been a struggle, you know, not having my little family. Sorry if I get a little emotional, but you know, it's really tough, and I miss them so much. And it's a fight out here every day. You know, you're fighting for your life, and I just want people to understand that. You know, it's just not football players. It's the whole organization. It's everybody. People have to make sacrifices out here, and you know, I sacrifice to leave my family behind so that way I can make a living for them. Yeah, so that's all I gotta say, really.
Hey, Raheem, I was going to ask you about your fumble, but now I feel like such a jerk.
Oh no, that's a part of the game. So yeah, you could definitely ask about that one.
All right, here we go. As long as you don't hold this against me. But yeah, it looked for a little bit like, you know, that was, you know, it got to change the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, one fumble, all that stuff. I mean, what are your emotions when something like that happens?
Yeah, you know, this is what I signed up for. You know, players make plays, and you know, number 99, he's a really good player. And he got lucky on that play. You know, he got really fortunate, and he put his team in a position, you know, to come back and try to win the game and try to finish it out. But you know, you can't really look at it as, oh, you know, I got to move on to the next play. Yeah, I can't let that just carry over into, you know, me messing up even more, because if I do, then, you know, a lot more stuff is going to happen when the ball's in my hands, and that's just, once that play happened, I know I had to eliminate it, and it's go time, it's crunch time.
Raheem, Kyle was just in there talking a little bit frustrated about how you guys found out that you were going to have to find a new place to practice. Is that same frustration felt across the team and throughout the players?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, like I said, right now we don't have a home. Right now we don't know where we're gonna be, and it's up to the organization and you know, the county and stuff like that to figure those things out. And us players, you know, we got to do our job to make sure, like I said, we protect each other, and you know, this is a family for me. We all treat each other with family, with pride and respect. So we got to do all the little things in order to, you know, take care of ourselves, and who knows what the future holds. We'll be able to manage it, and we'll do our best.
Raheem, what's it do for the emotion of the offense and guys in the huddle when you see Deebo out there, you know, breaking tackles and making a bunch of big plays for you guys? Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where we're happy to have him back. You know, me, Sherman, a lot of guys to come out here and step it up, and you know, even having Trent back in the lineup, we didn't know if he was going to play or not due to COVID complications and stuff. So to be able to have somebody like Deebo come out and give a spark for this offense, you know, especially what we've been through so far this season offensively, you know, we just feel like we just got to do our job, and you know, we look up to certain players. I mean, we all have a standard personally, so we have to go out there each and every day and prove that standard. And you know, he did a great job today for us.
We're going to take one more for Raheem because we've got Sherm standing by.
Raheem, what's I know this probably isn't uniform, but what's the impression or the preference among players about whether they would want to continue to practice in the Bay Area and then have to fly to Arizona or Texas for home games, or would you rather be in that state where you're playing games full time over the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say, you know, we're not too sure how this thing is going to shake out. We're just going to enjoy this win right now, and when we get on the plane, you know, once we land or whatever, there's going to be some discussion organizationally wise that, you know, they're gonna have to talk about. But you know, as far as the players and stuff like that, we're not too sure, just as much as you know, not as well too sure. So we just got to have that open mind and positive attitude, and make sure that, you know, first and foremost, everybody's safe. That's the main goal.
All right, thanks, Raheem. We're going to go to Sherm next.
Yep.
Hey guys, Richard Sherman, cornerback.
You missed us, didn't you?
You know, just so much. You know, I don't even know what I'm doing up here, but I'm happy to be here.
Tell us how it felt out there, being out there for the first time since week 1.
Yeah, it felt good. You know, I mean, this is the year of my love. You know, I've been playing it for 10 years. I've really been playing it for goddamn 25 years or so. But you know, you miss it. But sometimes, you know, absence and injury can bring back a bit of the fire and a bit of the passion and a bit of the love that you have for the game, and it's humbling. And I was just grateful for the opportunity to be able to go back out there and ball out with my teammates. You know, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of what the situation is an opportunity for me to go out there and play with the guys that I grinded with. So it was a pleasure.
Richard, obviously the circumstance and the situation is the most unusual that one could imagine. What has the last 24 hours been like for you and the team, and how did you maybe use that as a way to rally going into this game?
It was status quo, you know, and that's the only way we could treat it. It was status quo. You can't worry about things that are out of your control, you know, and that's when you get messed up, worried about the outside distractions. We were in LA, we had a game ahead of us. That's all we could focus on. You know, when you step between those lines, you know, everything is understood. You know, everything is still football. You know, when we get off the field, we'll worry about where we're supposed to go and what we're going to do. We let, you know, Slap and Riz and all those guys who do a fantastic job on the logistics side handle that, you know, spins. They'll handle that, you know. So the team, we just focused on what we had to handle. You know, we focused on the Rams. We came here to play a football game, something we've been doing our whole lives, and that's the way we handled it.
Richard, you guys did a pretty good job of handling Jared Goff today. Can you just describe the really good start the defense got off to, and then coming through in the fourth quarter there to get the ball back for the offense? That can't be ignored either.
Well, you got to give Coach Saleh, you got to give Robert Saleh an abundance of credit. You have to give him an unusual amount of credit, and I don't think he's getting enough credit, not only here but in the league in general. You know, to have the injuries that we've had week after week after week, the setbacks week after week. We lose 2 D linemen in the bye week. We don't know. We have uncertainty. We lose backers throughout the week. We got guys who can't practice. Kinlaw barely got to practice on a Friday. You know, it's week after week, and he never makes an excuse. And statistically, we're still a top 5 defense in almost every category. You know, there are guys out there with Pro Bowlers, all pros, and never had an injury, never had any adversity, and they're not putting out a top 5 defense. He's not making any excuses. He's making great plans week in and week out, and we're making it happen. And I think, you know, I expect him to be a head coach next year because of what he's able to do. You know, he's able to rally men. You know, he's a leader of men, and that goes a long way.
Last one for Sharon.
Hey, Sherman, could you go back to that interception against Jared Goff? Did the time off, were you able to pick up something on film while you were out there, and were you able to kind of ground something there?
Yeah, I'm an old school veteran, and we were actually in man coverage, so I was on Robert Woods, and they ran a play they had run earlier in the game, and I made the tackle. We had a bust in coverage, and I had the high 7, and they threw it to Robert Woods, and I made the tackle. And this time we were in man coverage, so Robert kind of cruised through his route because I was in great position to cover it. The ball's really supposed to go to the low man, but Jimmy Ward, who's one of the best safeties in the league and never gets enough credit. I mean, he covers receivers, he covers backs, he covers whoever our team needs him to cover. He had 2 forced fumbles today, tons of open field tackles. I mean, there's nothing he doesn't do well. And he covered the heck out of his man and made it possible, you know, because Jared had to put air on the ball, and he assumed we were in man coverage, so I would just stick to the 7 and I wouldn't come off. But I peeled off late, you know, old school veteran. Got to find the ball.
Thank you, Sherman.
Appreciate you guys.
Hey guys, we got Nick Mullens here for you.
It's great. What's up, guys?
Hey Nick, how would you describe the emotional roller coaster that second half must have been with it starting with Kinlaw's touchdown and then the Rams scoring 17 straight, and then you guys getting a stop and then going down?
You said it perfect. A roller coaster. It was crazy. I feel like anything that could happen in the game happened, and it just shows the grit, the determination of this team. Was it perfect? Heck no, it wasn't perfect at all.
But the defense played incredible, and offense, I guess you could say we delivered when we had to. And obviously it was great to get the guys back, and Raheem and Deebo and Jeff, and we found a way to pull it out, and that's all that matters. A W in the win column.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Nick, obviously there are ups and downs, but I guess that final drive, you had to make some clutch throws. I guess, how did you kind of keep your confidence after some, moments you'd rather forget?
Yeah, it was definitely faced some adversity during the game. Would have liked to make a couple more plays and take advantage of some opportunities. But the biggest thing on the last drive, I was just trying to stay in the moment. That's really kind of what I've been telling myself. Just stay in the moment, and you're really only as good as your next play. And so just keeping that mentality and not worrying about what happened previously. Just play the next play, and it led to success.
Last one for Nick. Nick, can you describe whether the team addressed before the game just the uncertainty that awaits you guys when you can't play at Levi's or practice at the training facility? How did you guys block that out, and did you as a team discuss that?
We did discuss it. We found out, I guess, just like everybody else. I had my friend text me and say, "Dang, 49ers, huh?" And I didn't know what he was talking about. And then he sent me like a screenshot. So yeah, is it an interesting circumstance? Yeah, but like we all preach to each other, focus on the job at hand, focus on what matters most, and really, for us as football players, focusing on the job. That's really all we can do. Follow the rules, do what we're supposed to do, and perform. And so we'll see what the future holds. It's tough for us, but it's more tough for the families. So we'll see what happens, and we're gonna adjust and be ready for whatever.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Is the audio still on? Yeah. With the video, we're working on it. As soon as we can get it back up, we will. We'll still do audio now. We got Kerry Hyder here for you guys. Is Tessa picking somebody? Are they not here, either?
Kerry, what was your viewpoint of Javon Kinlaw's touchdown, and what did you think of his leap into the end zone?
Oh, man, that was just great to see, man. J.K. been working his butt off all year, and see him get in the end zone, man. Defensive players, especially D linemen, try their whole career to get in the end zone. So I'm just super excited for him, man. That was a great thing he had today.
Hey, Kerry, what about Robert Saleh? I guess either as unique or just as has impressed you this season?
Man, he's just a great coach, man. He always has us prepared, and when we get out on the field, man, we know what we're going to do. We know what we're going to get, and he does a great job of putting us in position to make plays.
Hey, Kerry, especially with these empty stadiums, whenever you guys make a big stop, it seems that Saul and everybody on the sideline, you can hear them, all the way up to the upper deck, and it seems to get you guys really fired up. Can you explain, how that energy that you guys get from the sideline when you are playing well might build throughout the course of the game?
That's something we've been building since training camp. We're brotherhood out there, and we're just excited for each other. When someone makes a play, we're excited for our teammate, and we just have a party around the ball.
Last one.
Kerry, obviously when you signed with the 49ers, I'm sure you didn't expect to be a full-time starter, but you're close to, in your career high in sacks. So I was just wondering, just as far as the season has gone, what's it been like? And I was wondering if you plan on. Sorry, what I wanted to ask you is, was this part of the deal? Like, did you think that you would have this success this season coming over the 49ers?
And I really did. I wanted to really solidify myself as a starter in this league, and I have gotten an opportunity, and I'm just trying to make the most of it.
Thank you, Kerry. Thanks, Kerry.
Thank you.
Hey, Javon, walk us through that pick six and what it felt like to get in the end zone.
I was really supposed to be rushing, but I don't know. Something just told me to just step back, and I saw the ball come out. Like, yeah, we going to the crib. So that's all I know.
Javon, when we've talked to you throughout the season, you've been hard on yourself, and I know your first interception, you said it was just one. Do you feel that you're coming into your own and starting to get close to where you want to be?
Slowly, but I just still got a long way to go, and I'm here for the grind. That's what got me here, the grind. I'm gonna keep sticking to the grind because that's all I know my whole life. So.
Javon, how would you describe, or what is the trait of Robert Saleh as a coach that stands out to you most? And what did you think of his plan coming into the week?
Just his energy, really. That's what stick out to me the most. I just love high energy people, and I feed off of that type of stuff. So it just makes it that much easier to go when your coaches got high energy. So I love Saleh, man.
Last one.
Javon, what has it been like this last 24 hours, just the emotion you guys have been through, finding out that you might not be able to practice and have games at Levi's?
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even really know that. But, I don't know. I ain't really know that.
All right. Thanks, Javon.
Fred, you guys are 4-0 in your last 4 games against the Rams. Richard Sherman's kind of talking about how much credit Robert Saleh deserves. Would you credit Saleh as the reason you guys have been so staunch against the Rams in the last 4 games?
Well, yeah, I think absolutely. I'll give him all the credit. Just the fact that he sets us up so well against these guys, even though they are such an explosive offense and are so successful against other teams. But I mean, it's just precision against precision. They're going to do what they do really well at a fast pace, and we're going to do what we do really well. We don't do a whole lot, but I mean, we're going to do what we do. We're going to do it fast and violent. So. It was more of the same today. I think that's why we were successful on defense, and creating those turnovers was huge for us to be able to come out with the win.
Hey, Fred, kind of the same thing, but you were asked during the week if you guys might be onto the Rams offense. Can you say now if you're onto the Rams offense?
Oh, man, you trying to get me to say some clickbait stuff, huh? You know what, man? I got nothing but respect for their team, honestly, especially that offense. They have a lot of great players on that side. Got a lot of respect for Jared and what he does. It's just that, like I said, we've outplayed them in the last 4 outings. It was a huge win. We knew our backs were against the wall coming in, and we're just excited to be 1-0. We're just going to take this thing one game at a time. And so we're on to the next.
Fred, how would you describe the emotions that you guys went through in the second half? after getting Javon's touchdown and then the Rams going on that 17-0 run real quick, and then you guys getting the stop to get the ball back to the offense to win the game?
Yeah, I mean, we knew, I said it before the game, it's going to be 4 quarters of football. I never get too high or too low in any of those moments. I mean, JK's pick six was huge, but in the moment I'm thinking, as soon as we get a touchdown, all I'm thinking about is, we got to go right back out. We got to go right back out. Let me catch my breath, because that's a very intense moment. But yeah, it was up and down towards the end, but I think both sides did a great job. All 3 phases just staying with it. The offense finishing it out in the end, and us being able to get those key stops. It was a full team win.
Last one.
Fred, can you take us through the emotions of the last 24 hours, finding out that basically y'all are homeless and you need to find a place to practice and play games?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been a roller coaster all season, to say the least, and this is just one more of those things where it's out of our control. We just gonna have to play by ear with what's gonna happen, but we gotta control. That's out of our hands. We came in, we knew we had to play a great game plan against a great team, and we did that. So whatever we do from here on out, we'll just take it and run with it.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Deebo, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. How did it feel to be back out there? You had a huge game. What helped you have the performance you had today?
I mean, it all started throughout the rehab process, putting me in positions and play in game-like situations, as far as getting myself back in shape. But it also felt great to be back out there with my teammates and just going out there and get the dub.
Hey, Deebo, Kyle Shanahan just said you're one of the best football players he's been around, but he also tries to make sure that he's always focusing on trying to get you to improve. How has your relationship evolved with Kyle, and how do you think your role is evolving in that same vein?
Can you rephrase your question, please?
How do you think your role is evolving in the offense now that you've been with Kyle for a couple of years?
I think it's just getting better and better as time go on. It's all a trust thing. It all starts from trust. You know what I'm saying? Like how I am with the ball, and Kyle believing in the things that he drafted me for. Just go out there and do that.
Hey, Deebo, Kyle told us you were one of the better football players he's been around, but he says he doesn't compliment you to your face very much. What's the nicest thing he said to you?
I mean, today he was just like, I'm proud of you, this, that, and the third. And he was like, we still got things to work on. I'm like, yeah, for sure.
Last one for Deebo.
Deebo, what was the mood like on the plane? How would you describe the scene when you guys found out about about Santa Clara County preventing you guys from practicing and playing at your facilities?
I mean, we got the news from Twitter, which they got on. John got on the intercom, was telling us what was going on. But the team motto was control the things that we can control. We just make the best out of every opportunity we get.
Thank you, Deebo.